Welcome to Gaming Potential's first ever podcast. Greg, aka Sage here, and I'm joined with Tsukuyomi. Again, this is our first episode, and in these podcasts, we'll be talking about relevant gaming topics. So, just a little introduction. Right now, I'm in charge of the site and YouTube channel for Gaming Potential. I've done all of the reviews so far, and there's much more to come. Sugo is a good friend of mine who often helps me out with ideas and such, including this podcast. So, let's get into it. So, first up, we've got Pokemon. Sun and Moon is coming out. What are your opinions on Sun and Moon?
Oh, there's so much to Sun and Moon. It's just like, you know, people are always complaining that Pokemon is the same game year after year after year, but the more that's coming out for Gen 7, it's like they're trying to remake the game. It's still, you can tell it's still the same game, still the same plot, still the same feel and mechanics and everything, but they're trying to reinvent the way you play it almost in a way. And it's in some ways it's kind of like tearing down everything we've already knew about the series in general. You know what I mean? Like with all these Alolan forms and this whole
What do you mean
Z
by
move,
reinvent? Reinvent?
like the game has a set established meta right now, and there's like you're kind of like you're expected to play a certain way when you play Pokemon and stuff, and you're expected to set up teams a certain way. But they're changing so much right now, and it's not just your typical okay, we're gonna change stat effectiveness, we're gonna change stats or move sets or whatever. They're like literally changing how you're going to think about games because we thought like Mega Evolutions Gen 6 was a game changer, but this whole what is it? This whole Alolan forms and this whole Z moves, and there's just like
What are
there's
what exactly are the Alolan forms?
well, we don't really know much about them. All we know is that basically Pokemon kind of like actual evolution in real life. Like when a certain animal moves to a certain habitat, they adapt to it over time and of course many years. Well, it's like these Pokemon that we all came to know, like from Gen 1 through 6, all of a sudden in Gen 7, they adapted to this new climate and habitat. And now they're like a completely different Pokemon. Like that alone is pretty much game changing.
Yeah, I was pretty interested by the Icy Vulpix and Ninetales. I thought that was pretty interesting. What I was
Yeah, I
wondering
was.
about is are they permanent changes or
Oh
are they
yeah,
temporary? They're permanent.
no, they're permanent. It's like a whole, you
So
have to
if you
think like a
find
whole new
those
Pokemon.
Pokemon in Alola, they're just that's just how they are. They're just Icy Vulpix and Sandshrew and stuff.
Yep, that's why they released, with the Gen 1 remakes, they said trade your Gen 1 Pokemon to Gen 7. And people are like, why would I do that? Well, it's because you can't get, you know, your typical Sandshrew or your typical what's the new one that came out? Meowth came out today or last night, whatever. You can't get your typical version of that Pokemon in Alola. You have to get it from Gen 1 apparently. That's why they released that whole Pokebank thing.
Huh, okay, that's pretty cool. I wasn't sure what to think of it at first because I didn't know if they were just a form or if they were temporary or not. But if they're permanent, that is pretty cool. I might actually be able to get into that. I wasn't sure what to think of Sun and Moon. I thought it looked kind of lame at first, but
Well,
my
yeah,
opinions might change of that.
I was gonna say, that's the thing I don't know if I'm okay with either as because people are like I said people are always complaining Pokemon's the same game year in and year out, and it's just like we get to Gen 7 and they're talking about there's no traditional gyms, there's no traditional Elite Four, there's no traditional champion. Like this game is gonna, not only is it changing the meta for competitive play, but it's changing the story plot. Like it's gonna be, they're trying to, like I said, they're just changing everything.
Yeah, I can see what people mean about that about the same game because it does follow a pretty basic formula.
Right. Beat the 8 gym leaders, then beat the Elite Four, then beat the champion, and then do post gameplay if there is some. And that was typically the, you know, copy paste formula they followed for 6 generations. And I do have to say, I know a lot of people complain about Pokemon being the same thing, but I don't know if I like these changes, honestly.
Um, it never bothered me, I guess, being the same because I got into Pokemon pretty late. I started with Pokemon Black and White. Oh no, that's not
That is
true. Well, I
pretty
got really
late.
into Pokemon at Black and White. My first ever Pokemon game was Pokemon Ruby for Game Boy Advance, which I didn't even buy. Someone left it at my house. I don't know whose it was because I had like 20 people over my house that day. Long story, but yeah, I mean, there it was just sitting on the kitchen table. I'm like, I don't know whose it is. There's a lot of people I didn't even know. So I just took the game, started playing it, and I did beat that game. But
Fell in
the
love with it.
first game that I bought was Pokemon Black, and yeah, I really liked that game.
Yeah, Gen 5 is a favorite among fans. Gen 5 and quote unquote 5.2.
Yeah, my I think I started liking Pokemon a lot more with X and Y. Um, I would say X is my favorite right now. So you know, I'm not an old school Pokemon player.
Gen 1er.
Yeah,
I will say there's a common complaint among longtime Pokemon fans where they say, like, you know, the rival gets weaker and weaker with each generation they come out. It's like they're no longer a rival. They're just kind of like a person you mess around with, and it's like this person's not even really worth your time, and they're not. I don't know how to
were the
explain it.
rivals always difficult? Because he definitely wasn't in X and Y.
So going by people who don't know the Pokemon Adventures manga, I always call characters by their manga names. So if you go by Gen 1 and Gen 2, your rival Blue and then your rival Silver, those two trainers were probably the most difficult trainers out of all the gens so far, and they would actually sometimes they would actually beat you. I remember I got beaten by Silver a couple times. Luckily, I didn't lose to Red and Gold and Silver because I didn't know you could lose to Red back then, but I didn't. But I lost to Silver a couple times. And yeah, the rivals used to be tough, and they used to be actually challenging and motivating, and they used to be like they would push you because they're just like an actual rival. Unlike now or Gen 3 and onward, they're like your quote unquote best friend, and there's really like no competition between your rival and you ever since then.
They must have intentionally made them easy. Um,
That's what I'm thinking.
because I know, I felt bad for my rival in X. Like, he stops me and we fight, and you completely destroy him, him,
Yep,
him and
yep.
his Pokemon team. And he's like, "Why can't I win? What am I doing wrong?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, man. I don't know."
You're just not good. Basically, that was pretty much it, and that's something that's missing from these Pokemon games. Is an actual good rival. Like we don't want a friend. We don't need 50 pals. Like in Gen 6, oh my gosh, you had like what? Like four people follow you around that were quote unquote rivals, but really none of them were half baked trainers at best.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they were going for there. I don't know if they wanted you to feel closer to your friends, or I don't know. So, what is your favorite Pokemon game?
My favorite Pokemon would have to be Gen 2. Preferably Silver, because I prefer Lugia over Ho-Oh any day. But Gen 2 was the first Pokemon game I played, and I remember being gold, and I remember going up against silver, and it was just good times all around. That was when the Game Boy Color came out and stuff, so I was actually playing Pokemon in color.
Oh
And
yeah, or Game Boy Color, exciting times.
yeah, those are the days, right? When you're just like, man, I went from the Game Boy Pocket to the Game Boy Color.
Yeah, wow, look at all these colors. Yeah, I think I've already stated that my favorite was X.
Yep.
Um, what's your favorite Pokemon?
Uh, my favorite typing is Poison, just because of Koga, and who doesn't love ninjas, right? And his basically a poison type trainer. But I also have a thing for a ground Pokemon because those are just like if you ever watch like any type of superhero show or anything, you pretty much know that like if someone has control over the earth or power over the earth, they're pretty much unstoppable, invincible. So that's why ground easily became one of my famous or favorite types. So poison and ground together, Nidoking hands down. He's the best Pokemon.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. I would say my favorite is Miss Dravis because I just like ghost Pokemon. Um, Miss Dravis, pure ghost. And she's cute, you know. That's always important. Very important for competitive play.
Cuteness. You gotta be cute when you're fighting people.
Suko tells me that Miss Magius is better because she's the evolved form, which is just false. I mean, she is the evolved form, but she's not better.
I mean, those stats, who needs those extra stats?
Well,
Extra stat points.
if you use the Eviolite, I think that's what it's called. Um, you can increase an unevolved Pokemon stats by 50%, which is pretty huge.
So basically, you make it almost Mismagius, but not quite. So, or you could just make the evolved form stronger using the same item.
Well, it doesn't work if it's evolved all the way.
Oh, it doesn't?
No, it has to be unevolved.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it won't work if it doesn't have any more evolutions. If it has, if it can be evolved, then it'll work.
Okay. Then I guess oh, well, that's a game changer.
So, another popular Pokemon thing, Pokemon Go. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh man. Wow, so many things can be said. Let me just say that I'm not. How do I put this? All right. Well, first things first. If you're one of those people that say people or adults or whatever or grown-ups should not be playing quote unquote video games on their phone, like if you're bashing people for playing Pokemon Go because it's a video game, shame on you, and I have no time for you. However, that being said, I myself will never play Pokemon Go just because I don't want to settle for a phone app that only has 150. What does it have? Mew? 151, 150 Pokemon in the game. When I would rather play the actual game that gives me the full 721 or however many Gen 7's going to add to the list or whatever. That has all the mechanics and has all the customization and all the different things that I want in a video game versus a phone app. So I'm not dissing the people who play Pokemon Go, but I refuse to play that game.
Okay, I get that.
No.
I definitely
like-
prefer a Nintendo game over an app, but I
Right.
can definitely see. I haven't played Pokemon Go myself personally, but I can see the appeal.
That's the funny thing. Neither of us have played Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I don't have a smartphone, so I mean, I don't even have the option. I definitely would play it. I think if I had the option, but I don't think I would play it for very long. It does look like something I would lose interest in after a couple weeks or so.
It's too limited. Like, I'm not going to settle for 150 Pokemon. Like, no, I'm not going back to Gen 1. Thank you very much. This is 2016. I almost said 17. This is 2016, and I want my 721 plus Pokemon. Thank you very much. I want my Typhlosion. I want my Gliscor. I want all my Pokemon. I'm not going to settle for the 150 again. This is not 1994.
Yeah, I would probably be more interested if there was at least Gen 2. For the aforementioned Mistravis, but again, I don't think I would get into it for more than a couple weeks.
No. Plus, I'm not gonna grind in that game. Like, I don't even grind in the real game. So why would I grind in an app?
I think the only thing that bothers me about Pokemon Go is like how busy everyone is now because they're off playing Pokemon Go. Can't set up
because the servers are always down. I don't understand how these people are playing it when the servers drop like constantly.
Are they? Are they always going down?
That's like a common joke or whatever, is that the servers are always down. So I mean, obviously you and I have not played it, so we don't know. But that's the constant joke that's being made right now. Is just the servers are constantly down. So
Oh, well, they must be up enough because everyone's gone. Can't play some games with them.
making phone app. Honestly, I feel like it might be, for those of people who know what I'm talking about, the Infinity Blade of right now. Do you remember Infinity Blade, the phone app?
I don't.
Oh, dude, when that app first came out, and I think it was probably like the iPhone 2 or 3, literally everybody had that app. That was the go-to app, Infinity Blade. Like, even if you didn't play video games, people had it just because. And if you didn't have it, you know, you basically shouldn't have a phone or whatever, because it was just a simple phone app game, but it blew up into this big fandom. Like there became actual books on it. We're talking about a movie that never happened and stuff, and all kinds of merchandise and stuff. And just I feel like Pokemon Go right now is the Infinity Blade of our generation.
Yeah, I definitely see the parallels to that. Lots of non-frequent gamers are definitely into Pokemon Go.
Yeah, that's another thing I don't like is who uh people who aren't gamers are okay playing a phone app, and then they start calling themselves gamers. I'm sorry, but I gotta call you out on that. You're not a gamer if you play a phone app. Like you can't consider that gaming.
Well, I'm not going to get into that. All right, so next topic. Sonic looks like they might be making a comeback. Um, Sega released a trailer of Sonic Mania a little while back. It looks like the classic formula of a Sonic game from the Sega Genesis. A lot of Sonic fans are happy about that. A lot of classic Sonic fans are happy about that. Me personally, as a Sonic fan, I'm really happy about that. I haven't seen a game looking that good, a Sonic game looking that good since Sonic 3 probably. But yeah, I guess they also released that next to Sonic Project 2017, which should appeal to newer Sonic fans. So I guess they got this parallel going on where they want to please both fans, but we don't know anything about Project 2017 yet. They released a trailer and have said nothing else, no gameplay or anything. Um, you haven't played many Sonic games, have you?
I have not. I've only played like two in my entire lifetime. I played Sonic Adventure Battle 2 and that Sonic Fighters for the Game Boy Advance.
Sonic Battle.
Sonic Battle. I don't know why I keep saying it Fighters. I don't even remember the name, but I remember enjoying that game.
That's
And those
funny. It's funny because you've played like Sonic Battle is like one of your only Sonic games that you've played, and I've played every Sonic game except for Sonic Battle.
I don't know, man. It was such a good game for the Game Boy Advance, and I wish I still had my copy. Pretty sure a friend of mine stole it and then sold it in a yard sale. Which I don't know why you would take a game if you're just gonna sell it. That's a screwed up move. But I digress. Um, Sonic Battle, that was such a good game. Like it was basically Dragon Ball Z fighting for Sonic characters, and I remember you could pick like Shadow and Sonic and Knuckles, and I don't think anyone ever used Tails, but they had the robot Emerald, and Emerald was probably the coolest because he would steal everyone's attacks and stuff, and you could customize them any way you want. It was just such a good fighting game with like specials, and it was a simple two. It wasn't a 2D fighter. It was kind of like roam around the screen, but with 2D sprites, so that was pretty cool. But it was a really good game, and I wish I still had it. And it was just so fun to play. But yeah, I would definitely play it again if it was released in the eShop. I'd buy it for the Wii U in a heartbeat.
Oh, speaking of the eShop, I wish they would release Sonic Advance because that was a pretty solid Sonic game. There was like the one good Sonic game in like this whole like era of bad Sonic games.
Sonic's going through a depression right now.
Yeah, I think we got a little off topic. Yeah, Sonic definitely had a depression. They had Sonic Colors and Generations too, which were a pretty high spot in a dark age of Sonic. Um, but yeah, Sonic Mania and Sonic Project 2017, if that's good, looks like they might have another high spot. What did you think of Sonic Mania?
I think I like the way it looks. I'm a big fan of sprites and stuff, and the whole I was gonna say 12-bit, 16-bit, and 32-bit era was just. I love graphics like that. I love features like that, games like that, for just my favorite. They're so colorful and vibrant and stuff, and I like the way that they're going back to this style of Sonic for a game with like modern. I don't know what they're gonna apply modern wise to it, game way game mechanics or whatever, but
They did
always.
add a drop dash, which looks pretty cool to me, where you can if you're jumping, you can go right into a spin dash, which I remember in Genesis games. If you were jumping and you wanted to spin dash, you'd have to stop, make sure you're completely stopped. Otherwise, if you press down, you would just roll slowly. But the drop dash looks nice. You can go from a jump, and I don't know exactly how you initiate the drop dash, but as soon as you land, you can go right into a drop dash, which will really keep the speed and momentum going.
Interesting. I wonder if that's something they couldn't do back then or something.
Yeah, I don't know. They probably could have, but someone's got to think of it.
True, I guess. But yeah, overall, it looks like a good game. That being said, I think it's only going to appeal to uh, past fans and non exactly modern gamers, just because it's, let's face it, not many kids nowadays can stare at something like a video like that and appreciate its design and everything that was put into it. Like they want the new what? They want the new hyper realistic Xbox One whatever the game is right now. I don't even know. They want those realistic quote unquote graphics. So it's just like I don't know that kids nowadays can get into a game like that. So I feel like it's going to be very limited to, the older fan base of Sonic.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. It definitely looks like a continuation of the Genesis games.
Mm.
And yeah, I was looking at it, and I could see lots of throwbacks to the classics. So they're definitely appealing to people like me and other classic fans. Um, it might appeal to retro game fans in general.
Yeah, true. People who wanted something to remember the past by or something, or a throwback. I could see that.
I think there's probably kids too who are into smaller looking games like that. I don't know. I guess we'll see how it does. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'll probably get it if it's not too much.
It probably won't be. It looks like a half price game, maybe even cheaper.
That'd be cool for once.
Okay, so let's get into one of the sillier topics we have here. Um, can you play games in your sleep? I mean, the obvious answer is no, but if you could.
Let's settle that topic.
Okay, have you ever been really tired and you still want to play a game, but you're so tired, you want to sleep, and it's like, oh, if I could just play this game in my sleep, how can they invent something that'll let you do that?
I feel like it'd have to be like kind of like how we have what is it, virtual reality machines now. It'd have to be like some kind of like dream sleep simulator or something that you plug in the video game you want into your sleep and you just dream it.
That sounds like Sword Art Online.
Maybe that's where they're going. I mean, VR seems like it's going there currently.
My idea was to sleep half a brain at a time like a dolphin.
Much more logical.
Yeah, I mean, who can't do that?
Who doesn't want to do that? I think if it, like, I don't even know what that would mean, sleeping half a brain at a time. Like, how would you even function with half a brain?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess dolphins do it because they have to breathe, so if they're sleeping, they have to go for air every once in a while, so they have enough brain power to do that. I guess some people can get half their brain removed, and they still function relatively normal.
Relatively, as in like.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I mean, I'm just going by what I've heard. I guess people can have surgery, something's wrong with their brain, they have to remove half the brain, and they can still live normal. How normal, I don't know, but they can still have a normal life.
I guess if it works and it saves a life.
So yeah, someone get on that. Someone go invent something that lets us play games in our sleep.
Sleep.
Because
So
I have lots of grinding to do, and staying up all night's not healthy.
They do make bots for that kind of stuff, though.
That is true.
Do you remember RuneScape bots?
I've seen bots in other games. I haven't played RuneScape, but
I remember people used to get IP banned for things like that, just because these bots would grind for money and experience and all kinds of materials and stuff.
yeah, that sounds like a topic for another time.
True.
So our last topic is Mighty Number 9. So you're the big Mega Man guy. I haven't really played much Mega Man, but you're really into Mega Man, right?
Yep. Love all the entire series of Mega Man.
We were going to do a co-op series on the on the channel,
Mighty Number 9.
and he blew through the game no problem. And like I'm just so bad at it. Like I beat one boss, and like I still have like 7 left. So it doesn't look like that's going to happen. It might, but
Not anytime soon.
what did you think of Mighty Number 9? You know how the Kickstarter was handled, how the game came out.
Oh my gosh, the Kickstarter, that was a nightmare. I'm just gonna say I'm glad I backed the minimum amount, even though I wanted some of the special features. It was definitely not worth the wait, and just everything in general.
Would you say it came out bad?
The game, my oh my gosh, my biggest disappointment with the game in general is the art style. Like how you get Unreal Engine behind you and you turn out like that. Like, okay, Unreal Engine is known for choppy and laggy graphics, but they have never made something as ugly as Mighty Number 9. You know, these are the people that do Tom Clancy games and stuff, and they do a lot of EA games, Unreal Engine. And to turn out Mighty Number 9 looking like that, looking like Play-Doh mannequins or something. It looked like stop clay animation, honestly. Like, that's how bad it was. But and if you compare that to the concept art of the game, the concept art was so vibrant and colorful, and it looked so lively, and I'm pretty sure it was like made in Flash or something like that.
Yeah, it looked really good to me too. I wasn't really following the game that closely, but yeah, that original art that they showed off looked really good, and then they changed it to what they have now, which apparently nobody liked.
No, yeah, no one likes that crap. It looks terrible, and like there's no animation behind it. There's no facial expressions. I'm pretty sure no one did face modeling for that game because maybe they quote unquote didn't have money or whatever. But yeah, it turned out terrible.
Yeah, it is certainly odd when like during the cutscenes. I don't know if you can call them cutscenes, but when people are talking, they just have this blank look on their face, and it's kind of disturbing almost.
Yeah, seriously. It makes it hard to get into the story itself. Like you're trying to learn about this brand new world and yeah, no, it just falls through. Flat.
Yeah, and it's true what you said about the choppiness too. That was a huge issue. I don't know how it is on other consoles. I played it on Wii U,
Yeah,
and it was just so laggy. At times, it would like the game would freeze for a split second and totally throw you off. It's especially a problem because you need to be fast in that game, especially at certain points. You know, you're falling, you need to dash into something so you don't fall into some spikes, and it freezes for a second, and you die. It's not good.
No spoilers, but there's like this part in the very last level where literally I had to reset my Wii U 3 times because the game froze because so much was going on, and it's ridiculous.
Oh, I heard about Mighty Number 9 actually breaking some systems. Did that actually happen?
Oh dang, that I have no idea.
I feel really bad for anyone that has happened to.
Yeah, seriously.
Go to buy a game to enjoy, and then now your system's dead.
Yeah, no, for the amount of money and time that went into this game, this should not even have been a problem. Like all the problems it's going through with the glitches and the lags, frame rate drops and bugs and everything, that should not have been a problem.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that could have turned out a lot better.
Oh, that being said, though, I will say that I enjoyed the game. I loved the feeling it gave of being a classic Mega Man game. Like it reminded me of the joy I experienced actually playing those Mega Man games for the first time. It was really fun. It was kind of different because it did feel a little bit different. You know, Mighty Number Nine does the charge shot; he dashes instead, and obviously the game characters and the setting and the feel is just completely different. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Um, it was just it felt good and new at the same time, even though it felt broken most of the time.
Okay, yeah. I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more if it weren't for those technical issues with the lagging and the freezing.
Mm.
I did like the dashing. That seemed pretty cool. That was a lot of fun to do.
Yep.
But yeah, like I just can't play it with these issues.
Yeah, no, that's something they definitely need to fix for the sequel that Inafune already said he is making.
Is he kickstarting that one?
I bet he is not. Honestly, I would hope he doesn't.
Yeah,
Did you know that he
I don't think a
started the
lot.
Kickstarter for his other game, Red Ash, which for those of you who don't know, it's the successor to Mega Man Legends. This like not too long after the Kickstarter for Mighty Number Nine just barely finished. And he was like, "Hey, fund both my games at the same time," even though Mighty Number Nine was promised for a while, and you still haven't gotten it yet.
Okay, yeah, I remember hearing about that. It was pretty controversial at the time.
Yep.
People were like, why are you making another game? Finish your first one.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, I want a Mega Man Legends successor, but at the same time, it's like, dude, where's Mighty Number Nine? We've been waiting forever.
I can say that one thing I do like about Mighty Number Nine is some of the backers, because Shantae, Half Genie Hero, their Kickstarter was going on at the same time, and Way Forward asked some of the Mighty Number Nine backers to help fund them because Mighty Number Nine was getting massive attention at the time, and many backers graciously backed Shantae as well, and I'm super looking forward to that.
That is interesting to see that both audiences, I guess, kind of crossed over. They both have something in common. Which Shantae is basically a 2D platformer, so it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, 2D platformer fighter. I'm not fighter. You attack things. I guess it's a bit
Adventure.
Metroidvania-ish. Shantae.
Yeah. So that was nice, interesting to see.
Okay, that about wraps it up for today. I hope you enjoyed our first episode. If you liked this episode, feel free to give it a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more of these, as well as gameplay videos and game reviews.